Alright, y'all, welcome back to the channel. It's Kyle. Got a little bit of stuff that I did to the car, installing a catch can, and this isn't like a mechanic vlog or anything. This is just kind of the stuff that I do to the car. I'm going to try to document and show because I do a lot with very little tools. It's all kind of working with what you have and making stuff happen. And I pay people to do specialty stuff, but any little things like this that I can do and get done, I try to handle myself. It's always nice doing your own thing when possible, so I'm going to roll some clips of the install and some of the stuff as it's torn apart. So appreciate everyone liking and subscribing to the channel, so thank y'all. Alright, y'all, got the issue with the car right now. Since I went boost, it's been blowing oil out in the engine bay. You can see this filter right here. It's on the oil cap. It's saturating it with oil. That's due to the crankcase pressure just being too high now that the motor's got boost on it. So the solution is this Motion Raceworks catch can. It's billet. It's made in the USA. It's a really nice piece. Comes with all the fittings. Dash 10 line. It's got some weld-on fittings for the valve covers. You can see right here, I've already marked it for the bung to get welded on, and then I'm gonna just have to route the catch can lines and get it in place. I've got the driver's side marked right there also, so I took my time. I made sure that hopefully these 90s clear once they're mounted in. I'm gonna have to route the line, so they're pretty big fittings, but hopefully it all works without any major issue. I'm gonna start tearing into it and get the valve covers off, and then getting them welded on is the next step. Check in with that. All right, y'all, a little check in. Pop the coil brackets off. They've got these little 10 millimeters holding them on. Luckily, mine's been worked on, so I only had a few strategic ones holding it on. You can see I've got the bung marked on the valve cover, so once I pop the valve cover off, then it's just drilling that, getting it welded on, then routing the lines and mounting the catch can up. Covered the oil cap, just didn't want nothing falling in there. See, I got it marked on this side. Passenger side, any of you F-body people know, is always a lot worse. Got the dip stick to contend with right there, snaking out the valve cover, but hopefully it isn't too bad. That's the next adventure, so checking in with that. Alright, y'all, checking back in. Got the valve covers off. Some normal roller bearing upgrades on the rockers. 660 double lift springs. Nothing fancy. TEA stage 2, 243 heads, ported out, you know, their whole package. Wasn't too bad popping the valve cover off. This side's real easy. 7 millimeters. Or actually it's 8. Got the valve covers off. Bolts hold them. There's the passenger side. Like I said, it was a little bit more of a headache. Not too bad. Just flex the dipstick out of the way a little bit. Bunch of wires and stuff I need to clean up, but once I get this done, and that'll be just another on the list that I need to contend with, but hopefully be getting those things welded up soon and routing the catch can and getting this thing buttoned back up and ready for some boost. Alright, checking in. Got the fittings welded on. Right there's the passenger side. Got it started going back on. This is the driver's side. It'll do the job, so gonna get them on, get it back in place, pop this one on, it'll be easy, pop the coil brackets on, and then start routing lines and get the catch can mounted up. Hopefully quit having this issue of getting oil everywhere. There was some back on. I hadn't tightened all that up yet, but I don't know if you can see back there. There's some oil on some of that wiring harness. Hopefully, won't have that problem anymore. Check in when it's done. Alright, y'all, checking in. Got the valve covers both back on. Coil brackets on. No major headache. Just got the bungs covered till I route the lines and everything. But I just so happened to want to check my alternator power coming from my battery. And the wire used to run right down by the header, right by this brake line down here. It's like right down in there. It's kind of a tight spot, but wasn't directly touching that I realized. I had some of this nice reflective wrap doubled up on it. Burn a hole through it, and needless to say, the wire got a little hot. Luckily, I thought to check on it, and it only had gotten through part of it. I hadn't had any issues. You see the wires just broken and breaking, and really damaged it pretty good. But luckily, I looked at it, noticed it, caught it before it ever gave me an issue. I've got my new wire routed up under the car. Won't have that problem again. So, lesson learned, and luckily it didn't cause me any trouble out on the road or otherwise. Alright, we're back. Got the catch can mounted up. You can see the fittings right here. Dash 10 feeding down through. They snake right there by the radiator. You can see. Cut the sticker out. I didn't like the plain top on the filter, so got the Motion Raceworks can down there. It's kind of a tight area, a little hidden. Mount it to my intercooler bracket right there. The other line snakes around and under the throttle body. Comes up right here into the other fitting. Drove it around. It's cold, so can't really hit a bunch of boosts because the tires just don't hold it. But didn't have any leaks. Hopefully go to the track here soon and actually lay some boost down and see if it does what I wanted it to. But it seems to be working for now. Install was real straightforward. I mean, it's a nice piece from Motion, like I said. Got it mounted on there, so next thing's just to hopefully get it down the track and see if it resolves my issue of blowing oil out everywhere under full boost. So that's the next step.